John, this does look more like a reputational crisis for Facebook right now versus them missing some business or technological wave that their rivals caught. So what's the way back from here?
Well, I think when disaster strikes, and I wrote about this in my book a little bit, I've seen this movie many times before. And it's not a question will companies get knocked down. It's how, when you get knocked down, you take a step back. Realize as a leader, your currency is based upon three factors. First, people's trust in you. Secondly, your track record. And third, the relationships you built off of those first two. When you get knocked down, it's classic in terms of the playbook you use. You want to determine how much was self-inflicted and how much was market. You want to determine how long it's going to last and how deep it's going to be. It will usually last longer than you think and be deeper than you think. You then position to your shareholders, to your employees, to your critics and your supporters, what you're going to look like when you come out of this and how you're going to address the issues that have been validly raised. And then you put in place a program to regularly update on your progress. When we talked about this before, and almost a year ago when I was writing the book, I focused about the tremendous benefits of digitization, and I'd seen that movie with the internet. But the danger, if the leaders of this group did not understand the downside of job destruction and the very legitimate needs of government. So I think it's important for government to work together. I know Senator Warner, you had on earlier very well. Senator Burr, the Republican from North Carolina, and the Intelligence Committee, they work very effectively together. And one of the lessons we learned at Cisco that I think we did very well on is we work very closely with government in terms of very legitimate needs on the internet and security, and face some of the similar issues from outside interest during those time periods in the 90s and 2000 to 2010. And we also worked on, go ahead.
Culturally, when we read this New York Times account, taking it for what it actually says, the way the leaders responded to hearing that they were facing challenges from Russian interference, perhaps at a level that they hadn't expected. They're trying to protect their reputation, but deal with the problem at the same time. Perhaps they got the balance of that wrong. How do you correct for that once that becomes public as a leader?
Well, I think once something becomes public, you have to deal with it very quickly, and you have to get everything out on the table. And you also have to, and this is important, we're playing out this chess game, and we're jumping, John and Carl and Morgan, right into the middle of the chess game. You need to start before the game starts and develop corporate social responsibility. And, you know, we won the Corporate Social Responsibility Award as the largest tech company, largest company from both the Obama-Clinton administration and the Bush, Condoleezza Rice. And it was important to give back. We built the reputation, and then when problems occur, which they inevitably do, you sit down and you very logically discuss it through. And if you make mistakes, you just got to admit it, because it's all going to come out over time anyhow. And I'll go back to you've got to then paint the picture for what you're going to look like when you come out of it. So I think it's very important that these large companies now understand that there are tremendous benefits in what they bring, but you've got to deal with the issues very squarely, and you've got to deal with them one time if you can, and then paint the picture and give regular progress updates.
Yeah. John, before we let you go, how do you think Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg are handling this situation, especially in light of this week? Because it seems like, again, we got more actions, more steps from them, but all very reactionary to that New York Times story. I mean, you got folks out there now trying to say that maybe Zuckerberg shouldn't be chairman anymore, maybe Sheryl Sandberg should leave. Are those justifiable assertions by critics?
Well, I think leadership is lonely, and I've been through that with the dot-com bust of 2001. I think they've built a very, very good company, and you were talking about Amazon earlier. Jeff Bezos done the same thing, and I think it's very important that we're careful about addressing the issues and not drive a solution that's going to cause real problems both to the company and to the growth in the long term. But I think it goes back. Government and business have to work closely together. I think when we don't communicate back and forth, we have a lot of problems. And being very candid, it's a great time to be involved with startups, and the growth in the startups are where the job creation is going to occur. So I think it's important our country also get back to the basics. We're going to destroy a lot of jobs with the technology now being brought to market. We've got to make sure we've got a startup engine that are going to create the new jobs as well.